Hello and welcome to your daily news. It's me, Aubrey, again, dourly. I've even put jeans on today because it's not that warm, while the other guys are probably on some beach recreating Baywatch, eating massive burgers. But yeah, it's your daily news. It's Wednesday. Got quite a little bit of bitty news today. A lot of players have started leaving Liverpool on loan. We're doing a subscriber show with Steve Hoare and John Machin later, and basically we're going to talk about how Liverpool's got a new policy on sales and loans. Go over it, check that out. It's going to be brilliant. We've been bringing a lot of money in, haven't we, in sales? And it seems that we've actually become pretty tough bastards in how we're actually letting our players go and selling them. I think that, for one, is a good thing. But we've got some news about who's left. We've got one player linked in, which I think's pretty much a clickbaity type one, so we're going to bury that somewhere in the middle. And then we've got news about a signing who definitely joined us, Sadio Mane, and how he turned down Man United. So we're going to start off with the players who've left. So Ryan Kent has joined Barnsley on a season-long loan. Barnsley are newly promoted to the Championship. Obviously, it's a good level for Kent to be playing at. Kent really impressed me in pre-season in the few games he played. I think he looked very exciting, but he's not going to get near the first team. You know, you've got Wijnaldum, you've got Mane, Firmino, Coutinho, Lallana, Milner, all playing in those positions. There's no point him sitting on the bench and not getting game time, especially since we've introduced this 75% of eligible games that they have to play in guarantee on our loans. We saw Cameron Brannigan, who I'm going to talk about in a second. Wigan wouldn't agree to that 75%. Obviously, Barnsley have. So that's great news. That means Kent's going to go down, play in the Championship, play every week, near enough in an attacking position, and hopefully really tear that championship up, come back to us a player who's ready to knock on the door of the first team next summer, or worst case scenario, he's added a couple of more million to his value for the sell-on fee. On top of that, Taiwo Awoniyi, he was one of those players that, because he doesn't have a work permit, a bit like Rodriguez de Souza we talked about yesterday, we don't really consider a Liverpool player. We forget that they're around because they can't do much for us. They can't play in the under-19s and 21s. They're not on these pre-seasons, but he is a Liverpool player. We bought him last year. He spent last season on loan at FSV Frankfurt, who were in the German second division. He made 14 appearances, most of them were as a sub. He only got the one goal. So this season, he's going out on loan to the Dutch side, NEC Nijmegen. That's, I think, how you say it. I forgot. I did look beforehand how to pronounce it, and then didn't write it down. So then there's just a lot of letters that don't seem to run next to each other. But anyway, they're a Dutch team in the Dutch First Division, and the intriguing thing about that is Hibala is their coach. Now, he was the under-19 coach at Dortmund for 3 years during the time Klopp was there. So again, this looks a bit like cherry picking in the same way that we've seen Ward go out to Huddersfield because Mike Wagner's there, who Klopp knows very well. Klopp knows this guy. He knows how good a coach he is. He knows what type of coach he is. He knows what he's going to be teaching him. Hibala is really highly rated. He's basically he's called a youth specialist at Dortmund. He was responsible for bringing Goetze through. He also was really integral to a lot of youth development at Leverkusen, and we've seen with Emre Can, but also a lot of good young players have come through the Leverkusen setup. So Taiwo, he can't play for us. He's not going to get a work permit. This will help him get that work permit if he keeps playing football of a regular standard in Europe. Also, if he's going to go out and learn from someone, I want it to be someone Klopp trusts. So I think that's a very good move. I mentioned Cameron Brannigan before. So Brannigan's actually done an interview with the Liverpool Echo, I think it was. It was definitely reported on the Liverpool Echo, talking about how he thinks going out on loan is going to be of a benefit to him. And obviously it refers to him personally, but it's probably going to refer to the other lads who've gone out on loan. So like Kent, Jese Rodriguez and Taiwo. It'll have the same effects. So the quotes were quite interesting, so I'm going to read them to you. It's a big jump from playing in the under-21s to the Premier League with how quick the tempo is. Going out on loan, playing championship football against men would be good experience for me. I'd like to do that. We'll see what the manager wants to do with me. It's still early days. Jürgen will come and speak to me about that when he feels it's the right time. So basically, as you can see, even them in the head are saying, you know what, it's really difficult to make that massive jump from the under-21 football straight into the Premier League, especially when they're at the younger end of the spectrum. So you're not talking about your Brad Smiths who are like 21, 22. You're talking about 18, 19-year-olds. They want to go out and get football. So that's great to hear. they're not reluctant. They don't see being loaned out as being fobbed off. They actually see it as a real good opportunity to go out there, make a mark, say, I'm this type of player, gain in experience, come back a better player, and then be in a position to challenge for a first team squad berth, which is what we want to hear from our talented youngsters. Now, he was meant to go out on loan to Wigan. Wigan wouldn't agree to the 75% guaranteed game time, so that loan move fell through. I like that. We didn't back down. He's not going to go somewhere and sit on the bench. So hopefully a good championship club. Wouldn't it be even better if it was a foreign club, you know, like in a decent league? Looking at like Eric Dyer, played really well for England in the tournament. One of the only ones who actually looked accomplishment. He's one of the only English players who's ever gone away and played abroad. I think Brannigan, the type of footballer he is, a move to a Spanish or a German side would possibly suit him even better than a move to a championship team, because I think he's got very, very technical, good ability as a footballer, and it could really see Liverpool in good stead. So who knows? We'll see where the Brannigan loan goes, but pretty much we've seen about 5 or 6 Liverpool players leave on loan in the last 2 days. They're pretty much getting all that business done. We're sending our players out. We know where they're going to go, and at the moment they all look like they're getting good moves. Player coming in, potentially Jese Rodriguez. It was reported in Marca, Liverpool, along with Arsenal and Spurs, are in for Jese Rodriguez. He's 23, he's Spanish, there's no fee quoted. It'll probably be around about 30 million, and that'll be quoted at some point. Apparently Real want to send them out on loan. I don't think this is a concrete rumour. I don't see him as the type of player we're going to go through. You know what? I think he's a good footballer, so I hope that we're actually wrong. I hope I'm wrong on that, but it seems like a very Metro-esque clickbait article. For what it's worth, he played 28 times last season, scoring 5, but he's fell down the pecking order because they brought Morata back in. You know what? If Klopp wants him, go out and get him. I think, considering Danny Ings is going to struggle to get game time this season, if we're going to be playing the one up top and we've got Sturridge and Origi who do that really well, and we've bought a lot of attacking midfielders, is he the type of player that we actually need? I'd rather see us go out and buy a guaranteed world-class to very, very good class left back, maybe a holding mid, but who knows? If Klopp wants to go out and spend the Joe Allen money and the Ibe money on a very good attacking player, who am I to complain? And then the last one, which he did do, he went out and spent money. Our biggest signing of the summer so far, Sadio Mane, has been talking about how he turned down Man United. So we did a video this week, which was Wijnaldum turned down Everton and Spurs. We got a bit of shit on people, nasty, mean people on YouTube, because that's what some people are, nasty and mean, and writing comment section saying, how dare you be celebrating how, Liverpool are meant to be bigger than that, and you're celebrating a fella turning down Everton and Spurs. This is how far you've fallen. I don't necessarily agree with that. Tottenham have got Champions League football. Everton can offer a lot of money. I think it is a coup to get players to pick you over clubs of that size. I think it's quite disrespectful to Tottenham and Everton. But you definitely can't say that about Man United, because Man United are a massive club. They're as big as Liverpool in some regards, smaller in a lot of regards, like class. But that's just my opinion. But basically, Sadio Mane turned down United and he turned down Mourinho. Those are 2 massive factors. He chose Klopp over Mourinho. He chose Liverpool over Man United. And his quotes are really, really interesting, and it made me endear to Sadio Mane a lot more than I actually was before I read this interview. So he said, there was interest from a lot of clubs, not just Man United, but as soon as I knew Liverpool were interested, I just felt it was the right club with the right coach. It was right for me to come here. Liverpool are a massive club with a big history that has won many trophies over the years, and as soon as I was told of the possibility to come here and I knew the manager wanted me, I said yes. It was the right move. I recognised the size of the club, and to progress to another level as a player, this was the club and the moment for me. It was a step I needed to make. It was a telephone conversation where we discussed different things. We're talking with Klopp. He realised I was a young player keen to work hard and progress. I said that was me. I told him I was straightforward and that I want to work hard. You know what? That's great. We conjectured when we brought Klopp in that the Klopp factor would help us get players, and it seems to be bearing fruit this summer. Now, people might throw Mario Götze out there as a player that we didn't get. People might throw bigger names, and people might, even myself, I've actually been asked the question, am I happy with Liverpool's transfer business? And I'm content, but I'm not ecstatic or over the moon because there's been no huge, ridiculous name. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you clamouring for Lacazette or for Götze is wrong, because you've seen clubs throw money to try and fix a problem. Big names, Angel Di Maria cost an awful lot of money. It didn't work. Maybe that's not what we should do. Maybe we should listen and trust Klopp. He's not proven us wrong so far, has he? and go out and get these components of these players who want to work hard. We've talked about character. He's buying people who've been captains in the past. Sadio Mane saying, listen, I've worked really, really hard. The interview's very interesting. It's up on the Echo. He talks about how he came from poverty in Senegal and he had to basically grab himself up and drag himself up to get out of that life. Maybe Klopp's assembling a team here where it's not just about the name of the player or the shirt sales or whether they're really, really good on FIFA or if they've been FIFA cover stars or which girlfriend they've got out there and if they're a big name in the world. It's based on how he sees them fitting into the team and how he sees them fitting into the formation and the tactics that he wants. You know what? For now, we haven't won a game in the Premiership and we haven't lost a game in the Premiership. It's still the pre-season. I'm going to go with trusting Klopp. I'm going to go with him buying the players that he thinks he needs to do the best for Liverpool Football Club. And so far, I've been really happy with the noise that's coming out of Liverpool at the moment. So that's it. Obviously, we've got a game coming up in America. We play Chelsea. The lads, there's a build-up show on the YouTube. Go back and watch that. The lads are in America. They are going to be doing so much content around that. There's the Snapchats around it. I think they are going tailgating before the game, which is going to be an experience. They have already been to meet the LA Reds and in a bar in LA and see how they experienced the game. They have done an interview with John Champion and George Bailey. It's up on the website. Listen to that. I didn't used to like George Bailey. I used to think he had an anti-Liverpool agenda from back in the heyday of when he was commenting on, what was it called before BT Sport? I can't even remember the name. Satanta Sport. When he was commenting there and he basically used to throw us under the bus every week, he actually comes across really well. Darn it, Chris and Paul, you've gone to America, you've rubbed me face in it by getting a suntan and having a big burger, and you've made me like George Bailey. Go and watch that video, it's really interesting. Check back tomorrow for more daily news and for more post-match content after Liverpool hopefully have beaten Chelsea.